Hey everyone, it's Tara. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the 2 books, 1 stone book tag. I was tagged by Tia with Tia and All the Books. I will leave a link to Tia's channel down below for you to check her out. You definitely should. She's awesome. Anyways, so let's just hop right into the questions. Question 1 is the second to last book you read. So the second to last book I've finished is The Dinner List by Rebecca Searle. Quick summary, it's about Sabrina. It is her 30th birthday and she is at a dinner party, and the guests of this dinner party are the 5 people from her "If you could have dinner with any 5 people, living or dead, who would it be?" list. And those 5 people are Audrey Hepburn, one of her college professors, her estranged father, her best friend, and one of her ex-boyfriends. Decent story. I gave it 3.5 stars. Question 2 is the second book from the top of your TBR. So I'm gonna do this literally. So right now these are the books that I have left on my June TBR. So the second book from the top is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I'm really excited to read this book. I've heard nothing but great things about it. So we're halfway through June, but I definitely want to make that a priority to get to this month. Question 3 is 2 2-star reads. So this is actually something I've been thinking about a lot lately. I don't actually have any 2-star reads on Goodreads, and I don't really rate books 2 stars. I've been thinking about redoing my rating system, my personal rating system for the book journal that I keep, but typically I don't rate anything on Goodreads or in my journal less than 3 stars because I don't rate books that I don't finish, and I don't finish books that I don't like. Most books that I finish are 3 stars or higher, so I don't have any 2-star reads, but I've been playing with the idea of redoing my rating system. I just don't know how I would do it. It's a big thing, big to do, so currently I don't have any 2-star reads. Question 4 is 2 great books by the same author. The author I chose is Jodi Picoult. She was one of my favorite authors a while ago. She still is one. I haven't read a lot of her books recently, but I'm really excited to read more of them and reread these 2 in particular. So 2 great books by her. 19 Minutes. It is about a school shooting, and the judge who is sitting on the case has a daughter who was at the school during the shooting. So it talks about the events of the shooting, events leading up to the shooting. I really enjoyed it. Another book by her that I really enjoyed is Change of Heart. It's been a long time since I've read this book. I want to reread it. It is about a young girl who needs a heart transplant, and they found a donor, but the donor is currently on death row to be killed, and the girl's family is trying to decide if they want to accept a heart from this man so that their daughter will survive. Both really great books, both books that I want to read again because it's been so long since I've read them. Highly recommend them both. Question 5 is 2 bails or books I hated. I firmly believe in DNFing books. So 2 books that I've DNF'd. I DNF'd We Need to Talk About Kevin by Lionel Shriver. I DNF'd that 25 pages in. I could not get into this book. The writing style, I couldn't. The author used a lot of very unnecessarily large words. It just made it sound very pretentious and snooty, and I couldn't get past it, so I DNF'd it. Another book that I have DNF'd, not recently, but J.K. Rowling, The Casual Vacancy. This one I've DNF'd a couple of times. I don't know why I can't get into this, and it really makes me sad that I can't get into this. So I keep it on my bookshelf, hoping that the next time I pick it up, I will enjoy it. I really want to read this and enjoy it, so I will try it again at some point. Number 6 is 2 favorite reads so far this year. So I actually don't have the physical copy of either of my 2 favorite books so far this year because I've lent them both out because I enjoyed them so much I wanted other people to read them. So number 1 is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. I don't want to go into a description of what that book is about. So many people have talked about it on BookTubes. Loved it, read it in less than a day. Can't stop recommending it to people. Another book that I really enjoyed is The Last Time I Lied by Riley Sagar. It's a thriller about a woman who 15 years ago went to a summer camp, and all of the girls that were in her cabin went missing, and it's been 15 years and the case has never been solved. And somehow now in the present day, 15 years later, she finds herself back at that same summer camp in the same cabin. It's so good. Number 7 is 2 new favorite booktubers. One of the booktubers that I wanted to talk about, she's definitely not new to BookTube. I think she just celebrated 1 year or maybe 2 years on BookTube. That's Courtney at Cortagonist. She's fairly new to me. I love her channel so much. Courtney herself has like a very vivacious, fun personality, and the way that she talks about cozy mysteries just makes me want to read every single one of them. So I definitely love her. And a relatively new booktuber, The Curly Reader. I love her videos. She comes up with like I think, pretty unique video ideas. She recently did a video about books she wants to read with her children. She posted non-World War II historical fiction recommendations. Love her as well. It seems like we have very similar bookish tastes, so it's nice finding somebody that reads the same stuff you do, and so you can bounce book recommendations back and forth off of each other. It's great. Number 8 is a book you've read twice. I was really bummed. I was trying to find this book on my bookshelf, and I can't find it. So I don't know if it made it from Utah to Connecticut. But it is a book called Confederates in the Attic by Tony Horwitz. So the first time I read it, I was in college. I read it for one of my history classes. I liked it, but it was an assigned read, so you never like those as much, I don't think. So then I reread it a couple of years later, and I loved it. It is it's a nonfiction book. It was such just like a unique story. So the author visited a bunch of sites in cities in the South from the Civil War, a Civil War reenactment. As a member of the Confederate Army, he interviews descendants of Confederate soldiers, and just getting to see and read about that side, because a lot of like history classes, history books focus on the North because, they won. I'm from Texas, grew up in the South. So I got a little bit more of the South side of things, but you still don't hear about it too much. So getting that perspective and, reading about how passionate these people are about like not slavery, not like whether or not they believed in or had slaves or not at the time, like they believed in their rights as states. And so just reading these stories, it was a nice, interesting perspective. And if you enjoy U.S. history, and specifically Civil War history, I think you would enjoy that because it is a nice perspective on the other side of things. Question 9 is 2 fabulous quotes from books you've read recently. So the first quote is from The Wise Man's Fear with Patrick Rothfuss. And I really liked this quote because it kind of sums up how I feel about rereading books or like rewatching movies or TV shows. So it says, stories don't need to be new to bring you joy. Some stories are like familiar friends. Some are dependable as bread. So I think that the reason that I enjoy rereading books and rewatching movies and TV shows is because they are familiar, and I can just, they're like coming home. You're familiar with the story. You don't have to worry about like what's going on because you already know. You can just read it and enjoy being in that place. Second quote is from a very recent read. It's actually the most recent book that I finished. It is from Taylor Jenkins' read, After I Do. Loved this book. I'll talk about it more in my wrap up. Gave it 5 stars. So this quote says, "All that matters in this life is that you try. All that matters is that you open your heart, give everything you have, and keep trying." And I just like that as a little reminder that, you know, it's not about how much money you make. It's not about, you know, how many friends you have. It's not about how big your house is, all of that. It's about trying and giving your all and opening your heart up to people. And I think a lot of people, especially my age, get like caught up in like this need to like be the best, and that's not what life is about. So I love that as a little reminder about what life really is about. And question 10 is tag a number of booktubers. That number must be divisible by 2. I'm going to keep it easy. I'm just going to choose 2. There are so many that I could tag that I've been watching a lot of recently, but I'm keeping it simple. So I am going to tag Eric at Break Even Books and Kaylin at Kaylin's Book Nook. The links to their channels, as well as any other booktubers that I mentioned, will be down below. If you would like to do this tag, you should do it too, because tag videos are fun. So yeah, that's it for now. Until next time, happy reading. Bye.